This is ShadowQuant, Crypto Edition, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Friday, May 8, 2026, and this is the Tokyo session. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin just broke above $80,200 for the first time in a week, with altcoins like Solana and Cardano surging on Asian momentum. But the broader market is flat, with SPY at $435.12 and the VIX still at 17.4. What's driving the crypto rally, and is it sustainable? Let's start with the numbers. Pulse, you called bearish on Bitcoin, targeting $78,500. The actual price was $80,272, up 0.99%. Grid also called bearish, same target. CIPHER picked $77,500. SPECTER took it even lower at $77,000. All wrong. APEX didn't make a call. Let's hear from each of you.
I was wrong. My analysis was based on a false assumption that Bitcoin would consolidate at 79K. I missed the altcoin rotation and the Asian session momentum.
I assumed the 24-hour volume would decline, but it spiked instead. I need to adjust to higher volatility and faster price action.
I underestimated the decentralized finance TVL and on-chain flows. Altcoin volume is a better indicator than just Bitcoin price.
I was wrong to assume the market was still in a panic. Fear and greed is at 14, but the volume and price action suggest something more complex is happening. I need to focus more on flows, not just sentiment.
Let's set the stage. The crypto market cap is at $2.76 trillion, up 0.95% in 24 hours. Fear and greed is at 14/100 extreme fear, up 12 over 7 days. SPY is at $435.12, down 0.12%, and the 24-hour high for Bitcoin is $80,354. Let's dive into the headlines first.
The biggest story is the Iranian crypto outflows spiking 700% after U.S.-Israel airstrikes. That's a real risk factor. If capital is fleeing, it could pressure Bitcoin and altcoins.
But the fear and greed index is still at 14, even with the volume spike. That's contradictory. The market is in a state of confusion, fear is high, but capital is flowing into altcoins.
Let's move to the technicals. Grid, what's your take on the Bitcoin price action?
Bitcoin is holding above $80,000, but it's not breaking key resistance levels. The 50-day moving average is at $79,800, and it's acting as a floor. I'm watching the $80,354 24-hour high. If it holds, we could see a retest of $81,000.
But the 24-hour volume is down. The market is not showing sustained momentum. The rally in altcoins is driving the price action, not Bitcoin. That's a red flag.
I agree. The volume is up, but it's concentrated in altcoins. Bitcoin is just reacting to that. The real question is this a sustainable move or a short-term bounce?
Let's talk about the altcoins. Solana is at $92.29, up 4.8%, and Avalanche is at $9.95, up 5.31%. Let's break this down.
Solana is approaching the $95 psychological level. That's a key resistance. If it breaks, it could go to $97. But I'm cautious, the 50-day moving average is at $92.50 and volume hasn't confirmed the breakout.
Solana is up 4.8%, but the on-chain activity is mixed. The decentralized finance TVL is up, but the majority of the volume is in short-term trading, not long-term holding. That's a sign of speculative interest, not real adoption.
The sentiment is positive. Retail investors are excited about the altcoin rally, but I'm still wary. The fear and greed index is still at 14, which suggests that the market is not fully confident.
I'm not convinced. The altcoin rally is being driven by short-term speculation, not fundamentals. The VIX is still at 17.4, which suggests that the market is still vulnerable. If equities start to decline, it could drag crypto down with it.
Let's move to Avalanche. It's at $9.95, up 5.31%. What's the story here?
Avalanche is breaking above the $9.90 level, which is a short-term resistance. The 50-day moving average is at $9.60 and it's acting as support. If Avalanche can hold above $9.90, it could move higher to $10.20.
The volume is up, but the on-chain data is mixed. The decentralized finance TVL is up, but the number of active wallets is not. That suggests that the volume is being driven by short-term traders, not institutional investors.
The sentiment is bullish. Retail investors are excited about the Avalanche rally, but I'm still watching the fear and greed index. It's at 14, which means that the market is still in a state of fear, not optimism.
I'm not buying the Avalanche rally. The volume is up, but the fundamentals are not there. The price is moving, but the underlying activity is not. That's a warning sign.
SPECTER, you challenged Grid Read on Avalanche. Let's dig into that. What's your argument?
I think Grid is overestimating the short-term momentum. The Avalanche price is up 5.31%, but the on-chain data shows that the volume is not being supported by real usage. The decentralized finance TVL is up, but it's not enough to justify the price move. I think the rally is overdone, and a pullback is likely.
I see your point, but the volume is up and the price is moving. The 50-day moving average is at $9.60 and it's acting as support. That's a technical signal that the price is likely to continue higher. The on-chain data is mixed, but the price action is strong.
I agree with Grid. The price is moving and the volume is up. The on-chain data might not be perfect, but the market is reacting. The Avalanche price is in a technical breakout, and that's a strong signal.
My 24-hour call. Avalanche dollar bearish. Target $9.20 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Avalanche dollar bearish, target $9.45 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $62,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $64,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Phil dollar bearish, target $1.05 by next session.
So the crypto market is in a state of divergence. Altcoins are up, but Bitcoin is struggling. The volume is up, but the fundamentals are mixed. The fear and greed index is still at 14, but the price action is strong. What to watch tomorrow? The Bitcoin dominance level and the on-chain activity in altcoins. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Crypto Edition. Stay tuned for the London session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.